And today I wanted to do a live to honor my niece Mariah that has turned 25 today. Happy birthday again, Mariah. I love you so much. So I asked Mariah to pick out some colors, and I'm going to do this is a 12 by 12 canvas. But before I get started, I did want to show, I know that we posted one of the pictures from last week, but I did want to show both of the pictures that I did last week. So here's our first one, and this was our metallics. So we had a black background, black negative space with gold, silver, and bronze. And this was an open cup pour, and as you can see, we got plenty of nice cells, so that was nice. And then the other one, I did what we call a turkey pour. So if you didn't see the live from last week, I put my hand on the canvas as we used to do when we were children and trace our hand for a turkey. And some of these lines kind of represent some of the lines from when I had my hand on the canvas and I did a pour. One other one I wanted to show, and I only want to show it because I'm working my way up to this. I did this one. I did this as a collaboration with a lady out of Wisconsin. She helped me with it. This is what you call a Dutch pour, and I haven't mastered it yet, but I'm hoping to do another one. And this actually is going to be going to my brother in California. He already claimed this. Let's see, a couple of other things I wanted to say. People have asked, do I sell the paintings? So yes, I sell the paintings. They're different prices, of course, depending on size and other factors. So you can always DM me, you can email. The email is on my YouTube, but everything is Indie Arts with a Z at Gmail. The Instagram is Indie Arts Creations at Gmail. The YouTube and the Instagram are Indie Arts Creations. So I was trying to see if I could do something in terms of being able to see questions real time, and I haven't mastered that yet. But it's coming. So what else did I want to say? Oh, I wanted to thank a friend of mine, Samantha. She watched the video last week, I believe, and I was talking about my temperamental torch, and she has blessed me with a torch and some sink strainers that I'm going to use for a design. So thank you so much, Samantha, for that blessing. And I think that's it. So without further ado, we will get started on our painting. So I'm going to have to come and reverse the camera, and I will be right back. Hi, Samantha. I have to reverse this camera. Just give me a couple of secs. Okay, yeah. So I wonder. So I'm hoping Mariah is here. I see that we have a couple of people. Samantha is here. So hey, Samantha, thanks again. Just give me one sec. I'm just trying to check something. Okay. So I am so excited to do this technique, and I'm not going to give it away. What I'm going to do is I'm going to layer the paints first. So per Mariah's request, she wanted yellow, blue, violet, no, purple, excuse me, but the color is called violet. Purple, pink, and white. So I'm going to layer it. I'm going to begin with white, and I am going to layer it down the side. And so everything has kind of like a technique to it. So the way that you layer the paint has a technique. There's different ways that you can layer paint in a cup or pour paint in a cup. I'm going to layer it like this along the sides. And depending how you layer it, gives different outcomes. If you layer it the way that I'm layering it, then it will pour more with those colors layered like that. If you just pour it in, what happens is that the paint sinks down to the bottom, and then that has a different look. So Mariah didn't really say what shades of blue or violet, because I do have a darker, I keep on saying violet because again, that is the way that the color is sold. I do have a darker purple, but we didn't specify, and I figured I would surprise her with some colors, but I did ask her about the pink. So I'm going to pretty much layer this all the way up, because I have a feeling, although this canvas isn't that big in size, what I'm going to do, I feel, is going to be huge. So we are going to layer this all the way up. I hope everyone is doing good today. I hope everyone had a good week. I'm so excited to be here with you all, to be able to share my painting techniques and skills with you all. So this is going on our third layer. And just to get a sense, I measure in grams, but then I do convert it just to see, oh, I did something not in the order I wanted. I do convert it just to see how many ounces. So these cups were at least like 3 ounces, and they were anywhere from 3 to 5 ounces. I think, I can't remember if it was the yellow cup. I think the yellow cup had the least in it. So we'll probably be coming up on our last layer. I tried to make the paint just a little thicker. I'm not really sure that I made it much thicker, and the reason I wanted to make it a little thicker today was because of what I'm going to do. So generally I make the paints all the same consistencies, but depending on technique, you may need to thicken your paints up. So for instance, when I do the bottom bottle pour, that needs to be a little thicker, because as it dries, it continues to spread, and so that's why that needs to be a little thicker. So as you can see, we have our paints all layered. I'm sorry I don't have a oh, you know what? I want to put a little more paint in another cup, because I think, and I know I said I was going to use it all, but as I think about it, I may or may not, because I'm going to need a little more paint at the end. I forgot about what I want to do with it. I'm going to to try to stretch this out and get us at least 2 layers in this cup. After I'm done with the live, I don't know that I was able to release the video that I had for YouTube today, but I will release it after this if I hadn't released. It depends on how I download it. Some of them release automatically, and some of them I have to release. And I didn't finish my talk or whatever on it. So before I get started, I'm going to put some gloves on, I think, and then I'll be right back, and then we will finish up. We'll get started with the painting. It's funny, before I came on, I was looking at something, and somebody said, do you reuse your sticks? It was a question that one of the artists was asking. And, you know, people were chiming in and stuff. And I was thinking, yes, I reuse my sticks, my cups, anything I can reuse. So I'm not sure if you can see, but this is layered. And this is the look that we want. We want it to be layered. Let me move these other pages all the way up. Okay, so I'm going to put a cup on here. And you might say, what am I doing with that cup? Well, we have a surprise today, Mariah. This will be yours when it's done. And I am going to paint over a vase. And then what I'm going to do, depending on how the paint settles, I might want to try to change this cup. Let me see something. Depending on how the paint settles, yeah, that is much better. Depending on how the paint settles, meaning how the paint falls on the canvas, will determine what I'm going to do with the canvas. I have an idea of what I want to do, but we'll see how it goes. So why did I change the cup last minute? Because I looked at this red cup before I started. The reason I'm changing it is because if you saw, we had a lot of height here, and so we don't want this much height because we want the paint to go onto the canvas, because it is a dual project. So you're painting the vase, but also you want to paint a canvas as well. So that's why I don't need it to be that high. And I apologize that I didn't look at that first. I only looked at the red cup thinking I'm going to use the red cup. So when I start, I'm going to start in a shape or a technique of like a ring, between a ring pour and a straight pour. So, and when you're doing these types of pours, not this one per se on this cup, but when you're on a canvas, you want to pour a little slow so that you get your design. So what this is doing is it's going to be predominantly, well, no, it's coming out, yay. I was going to say it's going to be predominantly blue, but actually the other colors are picking up in it. From where I am, it kind of looked blue a lot. And why am I pouring more? I'm pouring more because I saw on that side over there, there was still a space with no paint. So this is a really cool design. I'm happy that the other colors are starting to show up. It doesn't look like we have to necessarily use it all. I don't know if you all can see it. Let's see, is there some over this way? Not really. But on my side, I'm going to turn it because we have some really cool cells over here. Look how cool that is. That's really nice. So I'm going to let it set a little bit. What does set mean? Set means I want the paint to run down a little more onto the canvas. And then you might be wondering, how am I going to get this off? That's why you put the cup, that's why you sit the vase on top of the cup, so that I'm going to have to try to grab it from the cup. And then, you know, I'll set it over here or wherever I'm going to sit it at, and then let it dry. So that really turned out cool. I have to tell you, when I first started, I was really nervous. Why was I nervous? Because all I saw was blue. And I was like, oh no, what about all the other colors Mariah asked about? I'm just trying to look to see how many of the cells are still there. It looks like, you know, some of them are still there, some of them aren't. I think I'm going to give it a couple of more seconds, maybe about 30 more seconds or so, and then I'll move it out. I had hoped that the colors would have shown up better, but with the dark blue and then with the purple, I guess, you know, it did show up really nice on the vase though, so I'm excited about that. The vase just won't necessarily match the picture or the painting. And I'm just kind of like checking this out from a perspective of, you know, I still have to pick this up and get it off of here. I'm trying to think. I think it'd be better. I thought my gloves would be good, but not really. I hope you all are enjoying this. I'm going to go for it. And a little bit that I did touch, the paint will continue to come down, so I'm not worried about that. I'm going to rinse my hands and I'll be right back. Hey Mariah, I see you, girl. I went over there. Guys, I promise as the weeks go on, I'm going to get better with this technology. What I'm going to do, let's see. So these paints are like really dark. We probably have enough paint on here. I'm going to use this smaller cup in hopes that I can get some of these other colors. Or let me see, because I've used most of the other colors. Okay, I'm going to hope. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a ring in the center of here. I thought that that might be really nice. So as you can see, the lines are coming out really nice in this ring pour. My hope is when I go to tilt, some of those lighter colors that I started with, my hope is that they'll come out in the ring. And I'm going to get ready to, well, no. I think I'm just going to go for it. We'll have like goobs and goobs of paint left, but I want some of these other colors to really show in this painting. So here comes our white. And so the first color that you put in your cup will be the last color that comes out of your cup. So I'm going to get ready to stop this, and if I want my ring to look nice, I need to kind of catch this dripping. Yep, I did a good job with that. Okay, let me move this out the way. Let me move everything back a little bit. Okay. Okay, so now I'm just, oh, we need to pop some bubbles, don't we? There's a lot of bubbles in here too. Whoa, this is showing off. First try, that was really good. If you can see, as okay, I'm going to stop that in case you can't hear me. So if you can see, like as I was popping the bubbles, we have some little cells that formed as well. Oh, she's showing off. I didn't even put more butane in, guys and gals. As soon as I'm blessed with a new one, she wants to try to act right. But Samantha, don't worry. The new torch will go to good use. You can never have enough, because sometimes, at least if you have both of them with you, if you run out of butane in one, you have the other one ready. All right, so let's see what we get here. So this is a lot of paint. And I know Lena asked last week, like, how long does a painting take to dry? So it really depends. It depends on how thick your paint is, like how thick you made the paint when you made it. Also depends on how much paint is left on the canvas. I kind of like these little specks that I call cells. And most of them will, if I want us to have a ring, we're going to have to run a lot of that off, so we won't really see it, but it does look nice. And then that actually looked nice, like a constellation or something. It just really looked nice. Mariah, I hope you don't mind that yellow and blue make green, right? So I'm starting to let it run off because I want us to see our nice ring. This will go down in history as one of my better rings. But that's what practice gives you. You just continue to get better and better. Sorry for the gum. These last two times that I use these puppy pads, they've produced some like really nice skins, what would have been really nice skins. But I like the puppy pads in terms of I don't have like a lot of space, and you know, if I want to continue to paint, I can just like, you know, take this up. Now I'm gonna go on this side to finish that edge. I could take this up really quickly. All right, now I'm gonna go for, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm gonna try to bring this back to center as much as I can. And I think I'm going to stop there. So why am I stopping there? We have some space in between. I'm stopping here because I want to keep some of the ring formation here. So that you can see that it was a ring. At one time it started out as a ring. And then what I'll do is I will tidy up the edges. So what I'm going to do, let's see. I say that, and then I'm going to ask Mariah a question. I'm going to look for the answer. So Mariah, this is the question. So you know, I was a little concerned about, we didn't see a lot of the colors. We do see some of the colors now, but we're losing a lot of the blue. So my question is do you want me to run it off and then we'll just have these colors? Or do you want me to try to preserve this and I can I can go like this, you know, I can, well, that didn't turn out good. I'll fix that, but, you know, I can try to, I could probably get a spoon or something and pick some up. That would be the better thing to do and not my hand. I could pick some up and I can put it along the edge and I can put it along this edge. Or do you mind if I run it off? So I'm going to pop some bubbles and I'm going to look for your answer. And then we will go from there to see what you decided. Mariah, did you tell me whether you want me to go on the edge? So here, Roddy, this is what I'm saying. So what I could do is I can pick up some of the paint, right? And I can go like this and we can preserve this, or do you want me just to run it off more and we get more of this color? I don't really like that. It turned out green. Edge it. What does that mean, Ramel? Okay. So I see some comments. I didn't see a comment from Mariah, but what the majority of people are saying is to try to put the paint back on. So that's what we'll do around the edges. And I think that's what Ramel meant when she said edge it. So that's that edge. Nope. Yikes. I'm trying to think about this edge. I don't mind doing this. This would be good. I'm going to run it a little bit. I'm not running it to try to take it off. I'm running it to see if I get some of the blue in with it, since it's looking rather green right there. Then I have to worry about this moving. Let's see. Like, I don't know if you can see, I picked it up and it's like, it has some of the blue to it. Like, this came out really nice and it came out with some of the blue, and that's what I was trying to get. Not necessarily a lot of the green color. Let me see. I think I'm gonna pour just a little in my spoon from our cup. That came out a lot of. Now that I want blue, I can't get blue. Here's some blue. Let's see how it goes on the canvas for us. I'm not thrilled with this. I like that better. I hope you all will agree, but I like that better. It gave it a nice contrast to the green, and I did that because the green just came by default, right, of the paints mixing, and I don't know, I can't remember the order that I put them in right now to say I wish I would have. I should have made sure that the yellow was next to the purple. Okay, that looks nice. I hope you all like it. Mariah, I hope you like it. Mariah, I think that this is really looking nice with, it's really gonna look nice with the vase. Now I have all this paint that I'm gonna have to do another painting with. But that's okay because I didn't punch fear in the face this week, good guys. I was nervous about stuff this week and I did a painting, but I didn't do as many as I wanted to. So I will use that. I actually really like that, and I wanted to do another painting for my studio. I call this my studio. And I wanted blue, so I might use that and see how I can incorporate that with some other blues and see what I get on a larger canvas. I think I'm going to do, for me, I think I'm going to do it 18 by 24 or something like that. Now, I'm not sure if you see, but green is kind of popping out. So how did that happen? So for that to pop out like that, that tells me, and we all know this, but that tells me that there's a lot of, it was a lot of green and blue base. And it was because that's how we poured it, right? That's how it landed on the canvas. And now it's coming up. So if I don't want it to come up anymore, I really shouldn't torch it. So what am I doing right now? So I'm kind of looking just to make sure I don't see any big air bubbles that I would really need to pop, because again, if I torch it, one of the purposes of a torch is that it can bring the colors up from the bottom to the top. And so I'm going to leave it here. I'm going to look to see if Mariah did a comment, if she wanted me to do anything different, and then we'll end this thing in a couple of secs. Okay, I got the birthday girl's approval. She says she loves it so much. Let me see if I can bring the camera. I'm gonna take it off. Let me see. I'm taking it off? Okay, wait a minute. I'm gonna bring it down. No, I'm not gonna take it off. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to move it. So I wanted to move it to show you the vase again. No, I'm gonna take it off. So it's on this tripod. My makeshift tripod, although I did get a tripod as a gift for my birthday, but I haven't set it up yet. So I'm not sure if it's really capturing. I don't think that this can really capture the colors that great. But here is our vase. And if anyone joined late, the way that what we've done tonight is I did a two for one. I made this lovely vase. So the vase was sitting on top of the canvas, and I poured over the vase first. I removed the vase, and then I did a ring pour. So thank you all so much for joining. Because I haven't figured everything out. Thank you for the love, Ramel. I see the hearts popping up. So because I haven't mastered all of my technology yet, I will definitely answer questions if you leave them. And I'm going to try to come on once a week. Pray for me because I always get nervous. I'm still nervous. I still got the FOPO, fear of other people's opinions going on. But this was so nice. I'm so happy that I can do this. And I'm so happy that I have this platform and you all supporting me the way that you are so that I can bring you more art. So thank you so much, everyone. And I will talk to you all soon. Sonia, I just saw you. Love you, girl. Love everyone. Thanks for watching. And we will see each other again next week. Take care. Oh, wait a minute. This is how I end my YouTube. So I should end this too, because I'm going to have merch one day. Cheers to painting, and I'll see you all later.